in. Legendary sounds of beat down Brown. With no long-winded ass intros. It's just myself, old painless, stud mustard, and the man himself. The liberator, the originator. Captain Annihilator, handsome Mandela, goddammit. So I can talk my shit. Talk my shit. Once again, Youngstown's own legendary beat down Brown with the baddest sounds in the land. Let's get it. Sir. Mercs with mics. Mercs. Oh, man. Like these niggas gonna let the whole song play.
No, I was.
Nah, I feel it.
Oh man, you know I'm already high, bro. Man, that motherfucker was on loop. Motherfuckers on loop, man. Don't fuck around.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't get to hear the song enough. Shit, what's cracking, fellas?
Oh shit, man, I can't call it. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm good, man. You know, just trying to get this in before I gotta go to my little cardiac rehab today, get my shit together. But you know, gotta chop it up with the bros. With the bros, with the bros. Gotta chop it up with the bros, man. Just with the broskies, man.
Oh,
get that shit in. What's that?
Just one time for your motherfucking mind.
For your
that erotic D shit.
What's up, man? Dizzle. Got the old DB shirt on.
I had to take it back, you feel me?
He put ODB was crazy. He put his real benefit card on for the album cover. No shit. Yeah, I'm with the wood. I'm getting stabbed, nigga.
It's 9 of us. We don't make that much money.
Right. We all split up. What didn't they say they split up each other's album money or some shit like that?
I forgot how they did that. Or well, it might not have been the album money. It might have been like the studio time they did.
Okay.
But I mean, they flipped that though.
Yeah, they did, man. Legendary. You know what? And it's crazy, man, because like half the group became large and the other half, like, you know, you got them. We was like, what's.
Come on, man. You ain't gonna have 13 rappers come out the same clique and all of them be the shit. Like, look, it's just not gonna happen.
You had, what, Meth, RZA, Ray, and Ghost. Them was the. And Jizz, he did his thing. This motherfucker's a genius doing TED Talks about what is that shit? Chemical engineering or some shit like that. And then you had You God, Deck, and what's the other one? Master Killer.
Yeah, but shoot, hey, you ever you read You God's book?
Nah, how is it?
Yo, he got a story. That book is crazy, son.
Yeah,
he got a story.
You gotta text me the name of that John.
Oh, indeed, we'll do.
Yeah, he went to.
I got the audio book, and it's coming from he's reading it. So I mean, it's crazy. He got a story.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I was listening to Jay Prince shit. Jay Prince got a fucking
story. He got a story too.
Yeah, sad.
It is, but yeah, man, for sure. I get all them audio books.
Yeah,
especially if it's coming from them.
Yeah,
they're exact from them reading it. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, man, I gotta check that shit out, man. My wife been recommending and my son been recommending Matthew McConaughey shit. They said it's good. Yeah, my journey into the woo.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, Lamont You God Hawkins.
Yeah,
with a name like crazy. That, you know he been through some shit. My man name is Lamont motherfucking Hawkins. He grew up in public housing.
You stupid. Stupid.
with them pink lunch tickets.
For sure.
Oh, let's get it, man. What we
Oh
got?
shit. Hey man, yeah, the CPS employee caught on camera
Man.
telling a 14-year-old girl to sell that pussy to be fed, clothed, and housed in the public system. This was down in Texas, right? Yeah, this is Texas.
Houston.
You know,
It's madness.
yeah, absolute madness. And I think the crazy thing for me is you got a bunch of parents out there. What's this girl's name? You got a bunch of parents out there that's really trying to get it in as far as parents, trying to provide for their kids, you know, teach them something and discipline them. Okay. Whether or not you disagree with me, you know, I understand. Sometimes it take, you know, a bit a little ass whooping or something like that. Um, and then these the motherfuckers that they send in your house, you know, if your kid says the wrong thing, if somebody decides to report you, this the motherfucker who they send to your house. People like this. You're trying to raise your kid and you're trying to do the right thing by them. But the person that comes to your house to check you about how you raising your kid is like, hey, let me ride with you over here. Yeah, you want that new Barbie? Go sell some pussy, baby. You know, it's like where in the fuck are these children safe, man?
They're not. This is what happens when you allow the state and its agents to come into your fucking home, tell
Right.
you how to parent. Now, like the state, the same state, and put your kids in public housing, puts immigrants in cages, has no problem testing chemicals on these children, unbeknownst to them or their families. You know, like we're subjected to testing, all kinds of shit. You know, these kids, like, this is part of a pedophile ring. I mean, you know, it's been exposed,
is.
I don't know how many times, bro.
Yeah.
And you see it over and over again. And this is where the state plays their part.
Right.
You know?
And look, man, I get having checks and balances in place because these people, you know, there are people out there, man, that shouldn't have children. I'm gonna say that shit. You know, it's people out there truly abusing their children, man. Most of us grew up, not all of us, but most of us grew up, you know, getting some sort of spanking. You know, we call it ass whooping, which makes it sound more horrendous than it is. But most of us grew up with some kind of corporal punishment. Some people don't believe in it because they have children that they can talk to. You know what I'm saying? That they can reason with. I get that. But every child is not the same. So some you have to whoop that ass. And I say that because you get kids, man, you talk, man, and then they grow up, and then you just see everything you put in them just, you know, went out the door and they become what they become. I'm not saying that that's not the same thing that happens when you whoop a kid ass, like it's the perfect solution, but it does provide a fear factor in life. You know what I'm saying? You tend to have more of a respect for authority. This is just me. I'm speaking from somebody who, you know, who got my ass whooped when I was a kid. You tend to have more of a respect factor. You know, you tend not to want to cross the line, just like, man, I'm not gonna come home with fucked up grades. I'm not gonna go do this because I'm gonna have to see my mom and my dad. Okay. But we already know that the fucking system that they put these kids into is a fucking nightmare. These kids end up raped, sex trafficked, and all kind of shit. But then when you got the motherfucker at the gates who's supposed to come in there and be protecting them, is sitting up there trying to put them into prostitution and talking to them about that. It's like, what fucking hope is there, man? You got the teachers fucking on them. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers sitting in little old Wilcom cellular vans. You know what I'm saying? See which kid is the straggler getting to the bus so he can try and pull them in the back. You know, these kids, it they don't have a fucking chance, man. they don't have a chance. It just feels like that, man. You know, here in the Bay Area, there's a story. It's probably one of the saddest stories um, that you'll ever hear. But there was a young girl by the name of, I want to say her name is Sophia Mason. Uh, she was an 8-year-old girl. She last seen by her family members in December. Come to find out, man, her mother's boyfriend fucking murdered the little girl. When they found her, she had been so malnourished that they said the only remains they got back was fucking bones. I bring this up because um, CPS had been contacted by the other family members. They had 8 referrals to take this girl away from that home. And she fucking ends up dead at the hands of the mother's boyfriend, because these fuckers didn't do their job. So if they not doing their job, then they sitting up there trying to get your kids to sell pussy, man. I mean, it's like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
I mean, that's the system. That's the system. Look, this is the United States.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This is the same country that has no problem with putting a child to death in the death penalty. You know, to throw a child into prison and put them to death. Here's something from the ACLU, like saying that they done executed. Let's see. Let me bring this up. Yeah, they done executed 226 fucking kids since the 70s. Like, this is our lifetime.
Come on, man.
Like, stop trusting the state with your best interests. You see the niggas that are in politics. You see the niggas making these rules.
Absolutely.
Like, stop. Stop letting them educate your children. Stop letting them tell your children what's right and wrong. And stop letting them in your house to snatch your fucking kids. But that's all it boils down to. You know, like, we've let this shit go on too long. And every time you fucking turn around, like, it's just a little bit more fucked up every day. And it's incremental. So you don't realize how fucked up it is when we're this deep in it, where, you know, it's normal. You see this fucking story. This bitch wasn't charged with a crime.
Right.
This CPS bitch was not charged with a crime. She just got fired. She just lost her public service job, which has a union, and she's gonna get that job back.
But Cuddy, most of the time these females don't get punished. Let me tell you something that's going on, and I'm not. I don't want to drift too far away, right? But we spoke on this Aries Spirit shit, and Mr. Mandela, jump in anytime. We spoke on this Aries Spirit shit that's going on with Tiffany Haddish. I've been paying attention to a lot of the shit on YouTube. You know, a lot of cats is keeping up with this shit. Aries Spears just came out. You know, one dude was like, "Oh, he didn't take accountability, apologize." Fuck all that. Whatever. But what he did say, yeah, you know what? My career is pretty much over. I talked to my mom, and you know what? The same woman who groomed me to be an entertainer, she said, "Hey, it's over." And if she said it's the same woman that pushed me into the world said it's over, then hey, it is what it is. In the meantime, Tiffany then threw this motherfucker under the bus. They said she's still booked. She's still working. Now, the shit that I don't understand is, again, those were her friends' kids. They were there on her word to the mother, hey, this is going to be a promotion for this. You know, we filming this for Nickelodeon, this, that, and the other. And next thing you know, it's a little 7-year-old boy, 5-year-old, 6, whatever. He on the ground spread eagle. And every fucking comedian is coming to her fucking defense for the same motherfucking incident that not Corey, but that Aries was involved in. Now, granted, Aries was the one in you know, doing all the extra shit and touching, but she served those kids up. It was more than one skit. She was like, "Oh, I wasn't even there." So you left the motherfucking skit. You left somebody's kids unattended. Like, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Like, these women don't get in trouble for this kind of shit, man. That's why every time you see these fucking teachers, most of the time when you see these women, these female teachers touching on these fucking kids or get caught, How often do they get in trouble, or do you really hear about anything beyond them getting arrested for that shit? You hear motherfuckers get community service, but you don't hear no real, like, punishment for the bullshit, man. And it's like, this woman is supposed to be making sure that the kid is in a safe environment where the kid is being nourished and cared for. And she talking about, go sell your ass. How does this work, man?
You know anybody in the foster care system that grew up in a nourished, good environment?
Absolutely. You mean, hold on. You said in the system, or you saying that
foster care? Foster care. I'm not talking about adopted. I'm not talking about adopted folks.
No.
I'm talking about in the foster care system.
Dig it. I'm not. Are you absolutely right? If I could tell you a story about one cat I knew, his arms was fucked up. He had them. What's that cat? What's that one politician name? His daughter was on The View.
Oh yeah, McCain.
He had them John McCain arms and shit. But when you hear the story about it, it was his foster father trying to get at the foster mother, and he jumped between that shit. Broke both his arms. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go any further because he had scars and shit, so I ain't gonna tell the man's story. But what I'm saying is, man, it's just, I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? And especially about the state. But I do agree that there does need to be somebody there, because a lot of these kids, they own parent. The girl I just mentioned, her mother was the one on watch. We don't know where the dad was. Probably motherfucker, she wouldn't let the dad see the kid, but the boyfriend up there fucking this little girl up. So I'm saying you do need that. But at what point do you really do background checks on these people, or are we just hiring motherfuckers for bodies, man? You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, this whole thing is a microcosm of fuck shit, though, if you look at it. I mean, check it. From what you were saying as far as the whole, like, the whole thing with spanking and all that shit, think about it. They're the ones that telling us, well, we shouldn't spank our kids and all that, right?
Right.
Where do we get spanking from? Slavery. And then these are the same motherfuckers telling us not to spank our kids. They don't spank their kids, and look at what happened. Why are you telling me all these mass shootings and shit?
Come on with it.
Because motherfuckers didn't spank their kids.
Right.
We have respect. I mean, Mike Tyson said it the best. Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Right.
And then that's when the respect comes into play.
Right.
Now, if you look at when you watch the video, the girl's mother was like, now, if I had done some shit like that,
come on,
it would have sent my child to CPS.
Absolutely.
And then here you go, the ones who's supposed to be looking out for her got her doing this dumb shit.
There you go.
Now, to even go on a broader spectrum, you said this. Now, this shit happened in Houston. Well, that's part of a whole child trafficking shit, because that shit is all over the state of Texas. Wherever the fuck you go, you gotta watch out for that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, it's not just kids. These motherfuckers tried to abduct Tisha Campbell. Like, real shit.
Ain't nobody wanted Tisha Campbell some fucking house party, man.
But I'm saying, though, I don't think that it was, look.
Listen.
They had to snatch that bitch in the van.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna say this. And I'm sorry for cutting you off. As far as that go, everything you're saying is right. But as far as that go, it's pretty much been determined that her story was bullshit. She was making a movie about abduction, and so they did a thorough fucking investigation. She went to the authorities. They said these motherfuckers did a thorough investigation. Now we can go on some conspiracy theory shit and say, hey man, the motherfucking them people was involved in it. But everybody is like, it's a little Smollett-ish. Your story is a little Smollett-ish, like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Here's where I can believe it.
You can't even sex traffic that bitch.
Here's where
She's far from Gina. Go ahead.
But here's where I can believe it. The same shit happened to a female that looked almost like her, not too far from where I'm at a Walmart parking lot. And this chick husband was in the parking lot of the store. Like they had, like she told the whole story on her Facebook Live. This broad, she was, I swear, she looked almost not just like her, but same build, height, and all that, everything. So I mean, this is where I could believe it, but they tried to get
Martin Lawrence?
Come on, man. Don't do that to don't do that to Marty Moore.
Hey, man. Hey, look, they was talking
I think she
shit.
was lying about that shit.
Oh shit!
But she was lying about that bullshit. You don't say a motherfucker was trying to sexually harass you, and then years later, we need to do a show together. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
But I think that honestly, on top of that, they was having these kids staying in hotels. Come on, son.
Yeah.
That's an ultimate setup.
Yeah.
Especially in that area where that stuff runs rampant. Like you watch all these shows about madams who done had these chicks in and out of these strip clubs and all that stuff. Come on, son. I mean, and then I mean, imagine you have your, just like you said, you trying to steer your child the right way. You might have made a mistake.
Right.
And then CPS come and y'all supposed to be going to a foster care spot, and y'all at the mosey wosey, and some old dude talking about, come on, girl, let me holla. Fuck out of here, man. I should set up like a motherfucker, dog.
Why you gotta say holla? Now I'm picturing that's the motherfucking dude. Listen. I'm not saying, this is the thing. Like you said, a mistake was made. I'm not saying that an ass whooping should be the first, method of discipline. I do believe in talking to you blue in the face and explaining punishments. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, now you the fuck out of hand. And we can't let you get to the point where you think, oh, all that's gonna happen is I'm gonna go to bed early. Okay. But again, you got these parents, man, that's just trying to do the right thing. And they don't understand that, hey, man, maybe this was the last resort. They just like, oh, you hit your kid. I got to take him to a safer place. Then it's like, the kid like, why in the fuck you put me in the back of this van? Hold on. Who is this nigga sitting here with this blindfold? See, the thing is, man, and that's what happened in the video. The little girl had sense enough to be like, "Say on my ass," and she recorded her and took that shit back to her mother. You know what I'm saying? That's how they caught the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way this motherfucker shouldn't be under the jail. Cause that's the same shit that they got Ghislaine Maxwell for. What was the real famous madam up in New York, man? When we was kids.
Yeah, Heidi Fleiss.
Heidi Fleiss was doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Getting these young girls and having them out here selling ass. But we talking about somebody that's supposed to be assuring that the children are safe, man. And it's just like, you can't trust none of these motherfuckers. You can't trust none of these motherfuckers. Like,
they assured us there was a war on terror. You know,
absolutely.
They just wanted resources.
Absolutely.
They assured us that COVID, never mind. Listen.
Yeah, like, algorithms and shit. Because I got another question. Go ahead.
Yeah, just every time you hear something come out of the government, it's a goddamn lie. Even everything they name. Look at the bills that we vote on. Look at them. They're named opposite of what the fuck they are. Always. The Patriot Act. How many fucking freedoms did you get from the fucking Patriot Act?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Child Protective Services, the police, like these agencies are not there for your black ass.
It says called Child Prostitution Services.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Listen, man. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, man. Like, this is just one of the small fucking things that you could throw out that happen in the United States. Like, that's fucking normal. Like, we're looking at this shit like, oh, okay. Well, how come she didn't get charged like the last bitch? Like this is how fucked up our society is.
So let me ask you this question, Cuddy. You're absolutely right. It is normal. But I think the problem is, and I'm not saying this about you by any means, I think too often the problem is we accept the norms. We know we know some shit is wrong, right? But we accept it as a norm. That's why I say, man, when people stop speaking up about shit, that's when it becomes normalized. Because we got another story we gonna do on here. Which I got
shoot, the norms change so daggone much to where it's like, okay, what's not normal anymore?
Yeah. I took a psychology class once at YSU. All right.
Sugar Steve.
No. And here's the one thing about normal.
You being for real?
I'm being for real. I'm being for real.
That's hey, Paul don't know the inside joke. Okay, real quick. We call my dad Sugar Steve. He told me one time growing up, and I know, bitch, I can talk to a bitch. I took 3 months of psychology at YSU. That's the school back home. And so because of his 3 months, he was qualified on game and all that. But go ahead.
But being dead serious, when it comes to psychology, what's normal is what the consensus is. So if you get enough people to agree that that's normal, then it's fucking normal. Think about it.
No, you're absolutely right. Okay, but see, I just see a game being played here. Okay, and it's always we see a lot of shit coming back to kids, right? We got another story in a second where we talking about this, and I'll go more into detail on what I'm saying. But I'm saying what it is, man, you got so many people that mean well, right? It's kind of like what we say about, you hear some people say this about police officers. Yeah, we know all cops ain't bad. Probably the majority of them aren't bad. I'm saying what other people say. The problem is the good ones don't stand up and say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it is for a lot of society, man. A lot of shit that we don't agree with, but a lot of people would rather sit back and not say shit about it. And that's when things become the norm. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I was getting at, but we just seeing too much more of this shit. It's starting to make you, well, no, I'm not going to go all into that. That'd be more for the Piercing the Veil show. But,
man, run into it.
Nah, I ain't going to do that right now.
We talking shit. Throw it out.
It make you wonder about this whole shit where these motherfuckers, and I know I guess it was proven to be wrong, but when you start thinking about, hey man, I'm selling these tables, all the fucking tables look the same, but this one is called the Janine, this one is called the Elizabeth, this one is called the Kimberly, and they all got different prices on them. It is, you got people saying, hey man, that's a front for child prostitution. All the fucking chairs look the same. But why do they all got girls' names? And why do they all have these different prices? And a certain retailer was accused of this. It was a big conspiracy not too long ago about a certain retailer selling these fucking cabinets, these industrial cabinets. And all the cabinets, it was the same goddamn cabinet, but the cabinet had different girls' names, and the prices was all different, and they was crazy prices, $5,000, $4,000 for a motherfucking cabinet. And so a lot of people was like, well, a lot of people tied them to the names of these missing fucking girls, where they said, yeah, there are some similarities, but some of the girls have been found. But then they said, well, this is not real shit, and all that. But it just, certain shit make you think, man. You like, is this shit really a conspiracy or what? I mean, I don't want to do too much of a deep dive, because then, they'd be trying to be like the algorithm and you touch the algorithm or some shit like that. So, you know what I mean?
is it a conspiracy? No, man. It's just how it's always been. I mean, just look, for instance, what religion or religious cult that you know hasn't ended in some kind of sexual conspiracy or some kind of sex fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like our presidency is a competition on how much you love Jesus. Like,
And how much money you get.
yeah, like this shit has been going on for so long that these motherfuckers been in the pedophile shit. And it's normal so much to a point that there's like a sub society of it.
Absolutely, man. And again, you know, this is like when we said, man, with this Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish shit. You know, everybody getting blown out of proportion. And it ain't necessarily that people are overreacting, but where's the same energy for every claim of this shit, man? Every claim. We talked about the two Corys. You know what I'm saying? And all of these kids that claim, hey, man, this shit happened to me, man. You know?
Yeah.
So that's hey, man, we ain't got to dwell on this no longer, but you know, man, hey, you know, protect your kids, man, if you're listening. You know, if you got little ones, protect your kids, man, because you know what? There are people out there that's supposed to, you know, be there fighting for your child's best interest and fuck around and they're gonna have your kid in a worse position than a spanking. So
They just gonna call it a spanking. Tricks love the kids, but the cash is king. Facts.
right. You know, so what else we got, Cuddy?
Man, some old pedophile shit.
Yeah, I got a question after this. Yeah, let's get to this one.
Let's see.
Mercs with mics. Mercs with mics. I like how he did that creature feature shit. Mercs with mics. Texas teacher on administrative leave after telling students to call. Damn, you right
So we're
about
gonna
the
stay.
Texas shit.
We staying in Texas, I see.
Yeah. Texas teacher on administrative leave after telling students to call pedophiles minor attractive persons. Let's get it, handsome Mandela. What you got?
All right, so this is where the situation where you had me till you lost me. So dig it. You had me where this whole thing is fucked up all the way around. No matter how you slice, dice, flip, and bounce it, it's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Pedophilia, fucked up. In schools, fucked up even more. Trying to whitewash it, even more fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I hate to piggyback what you were saying about the whole Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish thing, but I mean, again, some things you just don't joke about,
right,
in specific places, and this was just in bad taste, especially where there are minors. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, this is shop talk. You know what I'm saying? So, a person who teaches minors, which is a teacher, you just can't even bring that up.
Right.
Point blank, period. And from what I was reading, the teacher who brought up was a female, and they were saying, oh, well, we were reading back on everything, and the whole thing was she was being sarcastic. Find a molecule of my existence that gives a fuck.
Right.
You still can't joke about that shit being sarcastic or not, bruh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether or not, nah, dude, you cannot joke about anything involving that, because even if so, either you, the teacher, or somebody who is important in the teacher's life,
right,
is doing this fucked up ass shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is all types of fucked up. And now they're saying, oh, we're going to give you some administrative leave because we were going to fire you, but you're suspended. Man, nah, fuck that. Throw that bitch under the motherfucking jail, ho.
Right.
You don't do no shit like that. That's fucked up. Now, like I said, this is where you had me. where you lost me is now how is it that you can get a teacher up out of there for talking about pedophilia and all that stuff, but trying to whitewash that, but how is you still trying to whitewash slavery like it was part of the old NAFTA? The fuck?
Listen, this goes back to what Mustard said, right? It's like society is doing this shit.
Exactly.
Like you really gotta pay attention to the avenues or the arenas or the people that are in arenas that deal with your children, man. Like we always see fucking look, we've heard about the Catholic priests. You know what I'm saying? We know about the teachers doing it. You know, we know about fucking now we got this shit where the CPS worker did it. And you're not the first person to say it's a ring, right? And so you said, well, she's a female. Well, it don't matter because there was they you know how they got the TED Talks. It was you know, they do a lot of those where people go in these conventions where people go and talk. And it was two females talking about, you know, yeah, we shouldn't demonize pedophilia. These people have you know, they have a preference just like anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Now, it was a bunch of people that said, hey, if we give certain other people these types of rights, we opening the doors for other shit. And you see a boom in this shit. You start seeing a boom. Now,
dude, it's
now,
the truth.
Why is a fucking teacher telling children, and I'm about to connect this weird ass dot again with society. Why is a fucking teacher telling a child not to call a pedophile, but instead a minor attracted person? Now,
Up on some charges for fucking one of them kids. That's why.
you see what I'm saying? Now, you know, now we see they already let you can't they took prayer and shit out the schools, and it's other shit you can't do, but yet you'll have a
wait a minute, hold on. Taking prayer out to school is I'm sorry.
Just follow me. Just follow me. Because okay, I use prayer. Let me
keep going.
No, you're right, Cuddy. I use prayer because it's supposed to be a righteous thing. Supposed to be. Can we agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Prayer is supposed to be a righteous thing, and it was taken out to school. I don't think kids even do the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. Again, supposed to be a righteous thing. Okay. Some people believe it's indoctrination, whatever. Okay. I'm not going in on that type of shit. What I'm saying is this: they done took that out to school, but for what purpose is there a trans person reading books to children and twerking in front of them? These videos are all over the fucking place where these trans people are reading books to children and then fucking getting up twerking. You got I bullshit you not. I was like, what the fuck am I witnessing here? Like, why are these little kids confused as fuck?
It's like, hey man, it's like having Tyler Perry show and tell.
Right. Like what happened to that's a good brother, man. Like what happened to fucking clowns and balloon animals and all that shit? You know what I'm saying? Reading the kids. Why do we got that type of person?
Same with a clown. They can say it's a dude wearing makeup, son. I mean, shoot, it's a slippery slope. However, bro.
Everything is a slippery slope. But you see what I'm saying? But it's all this grooming shit, right? And so I'm coming back around with it. I was listening to what's the young lady's name? I'm not trying to dog her out. Candace Owens. She kept talking about this brother named Thomas Sowell. You know, she loves his books, his material. And so I said, man, let me see what's up with this motherfucker. So, you know, they on YouTube, you can pull up some shit where motherfuckers reading passages. One of the things he said that I agreed with was a lot of times society, what they do is they try to rename things so that they seem less harmless. Right? Like
mercenary goes to defense contractor.
Right. Illegal immigrant is now undocumented what is that? Undocumented citizen or migrant worker. You know, what we used to call motherfuckers bums and shit and hobos, and now they're homeless people, or what is that shit? Homeless, afflicted, or complicated, or some shit like that. Well, that's when we get into this. Don't call them pedophiles. Call them minor attracted peoples because it's less harmless. And now,
No better, bro.
right. And this is why I bring up what I was about to say. So I was on YouTube last night and I was watching some videos, and I've seen 3 videos. One today, I was watching OCA Duke Jackson's channel, and he did it again. He did it. I was watching an interview with a young lady and Judge Joe Brown. All of them was talking about the Ari Spears situation. And I was watching another guy, don't know his name. And every time I'll use Joe Brown's, every time that Joe Brown said pedophile, homegirl would lose her shit and say, you got to say the P word. You got to say the P word. I'm like, what? And so he ignored her. So again, he's like, yeah, watching the tape, this is how, and sitting on these cases for 20 something years, pedophile. She was like, hey, don't use that word. You can't use the pedophile word. He was like, well, rapist. She said, you can't use that. Use R. He was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's what they are. This is legal jargon. What are you talking about? So I guess what's this shit with YouTube's community guidelines where you're not supposed to use where you're supposed to say the P word instead of pedophile and the R word instead of rape? What's this shit going on? They said it's something about the algorithms.
No, they went Hollywood, baby. Think about that. They went Hollywood.
So you're not
there's so many
say,
motherfucking pedophiles in Hollywood that you shouldn't offend them.
So you're not.
And here we are, where YouTube is now fucking marketing advertisements. It's fucking TV. What TV was to us, it's cable. It's Hollywood.
Absolutely.
And there's pedophiles running YouTube now.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry. Them bitches at YouTube are some P words.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We're free to cheap labor because you got a lot of people that's just doing this for the love of it, ain't getting no money. And then some of these people, for as much content as they put out, they ain't getting paid properly. Matter of fact, they was getting paid better about 5-6 years ago, 10 years ago. But my point is this, man. You seeing it everywhere. They're even trying to groom the fucking adults. How you gonna tell a grown man who used to sit on them cases you can't say pedophile? Now in the schools they talking about minor attracted persons. At the same goddamn time, you got a CPS worker telling kids to sell pussy. I mean, it's like, can nobody fucking see what's going on?
These same schools that teach your kids that some men can have babies and most women have penises now. I mean, like, look how fucked up of a society we are, where it's just like, schools will not stick to definitions. Think about that. Institutions of higher learning will not stick to definition.
Listen, bro, everybody backtracking though. When the whole COVID shit popped off, how many times did the CDC backtrack on shit?
Hey, man, look, I was telling motherfuckers all day long, like, hey, man, and N95 mask lasts 8 hours, one shift. That's it. And it's thrown in the trash.
I'll be wearing that motherfucker for 3 days on end, goddamn it.
Don't do a dick bit of good.
Right. Fucked up. But you just, if you go with the flow type motherfucker, this shit you just gonna be like, all right, well, but then it's like, if you not and you seeing this shit, you like, huh? Like, how can nobody not see the societal engineering and what's going on? It's not just the kids. It's like, are they trying to groom the fucking parents because you gotta listen, man. Where is a grown motherfucker gonna meet a child without some adult supervision?
Working at CPS?
Think about it, man. It's not even the kids. The kids are gonna be all right. It's these dumbass adults that be falling for the okie doke. You
Come on, man.
Can't scam a kid all like that. It's the elderly that be falling for the scams.
Yeah,
Think about it.
Man, fire that teacher. I bet he work at CPS next week.
probably.
No, it was a female, so she definitely gonna get in there.
Oh yeah.
Because at some point they'd be like, "Hey, I need to talk to your kid alone." So when you go upstairs, they like, "Listen, let me get you on this track."
We heard your case, and we think you were done unfairly. We think you'd be a good fit here at CPS.
Yeah, your son come back to you like, "Daddy, smell this."
Nigga in the background, hey, holla, holla.
You got to edit that shit in here, man. Yeah, man. It's when he said that shit to me, I was like, yo, too much. Listen, man, too much is going on in these schools. They dressing up little black kids like slaves. They cutting the girls' hair. You know what I'm saying? When prom time come, the black kids getting some racist prom request. You know, would you want to be my watermelon and I'll be your chicken at the prom? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got motherfuckers like, why is that even a topic? Like, teach my kid math, English, reading, and gym and all that other shit. You don't need to be talking to my kid about that, man.
It's like I want to say this was like sometime last year. I was in the barber shop and we was talking about that shit, and we was like, honestly, it's probably best that we just whatever they gonna teach your kid at school, cool. Let them teach that nonsense. But especially as a black parent, it's best that we teach them the knowledge that we know at home.
Yeah.
On some realness, we teaching the real shit at the crib.
Yeah.
And that way, they can challenge the teacher, whatever, with that foolish, not even challenge, just be like, yeah, okay, cool. But you know what the real deal is at the crib.
No, man, fuck all that.
We're
Fuck all
supposed
that.
to do that anyway, though.
It's
Facts.
no.
Major
These
facts.
These schools should be teaching exactly what we tell them to teach. It's our fucking money. How many of our grandmothers played the fucking number? You know what I mean? Like, it's our fucking money.
Absolutely.
So, hey, man, just saying.
No,
fuck these schools. Stop letting them teach your children.
Right.
You absolutely right. Well, you can't necessarily altogether say fuck them when you're a part of this society. Because if you don't have a paperwork saying, yeah, you finished this one and that one, then we can't fuck with you if you ain't got this diploma and you ain't completed this. I think, I agree with you to a certain point, but I think Mr. Mandela was right when he said, man, we got to teach them the real at home. We supposed to be doing that. I'm sure you did that with your kid, Cuddy. I know you did that with yours. We supposed to be doing that shit. But I think, we so overworked. Adults are so overworked, or you working a fucked up shift, right? You drop your kid off at school, go get some rest, and then you at work by the time they get home. So you ain't getting that opportunity to talk to them, right? Like, let me tell you something. Bust it. My son, he had a little meeting or whatever. Who with wasn't important. But I'm listening to this person talk to him. By the time that shit was over, me and my wife sat him down like, listen, when people talk to you, you gotta know what to take and you gotta know what to throw in the fucking garbage. Because people will tell you some bullshit and that person's word is not law. And I broke this shit down to him. We took about another 30 minutes to break some shit down to him. That's what needs to be happening at the house, man. Or you're just seeing you'll start seeing your kids develop some real weird tendencies, man. Children should be taught things in life that are going to help them get to the next level. Reading, English, communication, science, mathematics, biology. We shouldn't be talking about Johnny's two dads. We shouldn't be talking about don't call him a pedophile, call him a minor attracted person. We shouldn't be, hey, you know what, for this day, hey, Tyrone, put this little burlap sack shirt and shorts on that I made for you. We got adults.
The next scene, I want you to play somebody's mama.
Right. We got adults pushing too many agendas here, man. We got adults pushing too many agendas, man. You got telecommunications motherfuckers that got to do what when you talk to them. They got to stick to a fucking script. When you talk to them, they telling you thank you for your thank you for patience 100 times. Thank you for being a customer 100 times. You getting tired of the shit, but they reading off a script. These motherfuckers need a script, not somebody that get up in there and they got their own personal beliefs and now they want to pawn them off one of your kids. No, nigga, teach 1 + 1. Teach noun, verb, pronouns, subject, predicate. That's what you need to be teaching. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to desensitize, not trying to make some shit less than what it is. You know what I'm saying? Minimize the fucking how sinister some shit is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
We do not relate to Christopher Columbus. The only Christopher we relate to is Christopher Wallace.
Yeah, and Christopher Reeves.
Oh,
all right, man. What we got next, man? Shit.
So you're thinking about them spirit legs.
We the ones at the gates, man. We at the gates. We fighting the fucking evil, man. That's what we doing, people. You gotta enjoy our show, man. It's comedy, but we fighting the evil at the same time, man. Let's get it, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying, homie? You know what I mean? On the set, on the nose, nigga.
All right, man. Let's see.
Hurry up. No, I'm just playing.
Man, fuck you.
Do the shit yourself, pussy. You can't say that. You have to say that.
Bye, kids. Y'all get home safe, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all get home safe. My little partners out here, get home safe, all right? I'm sorry y'all gotta be going through see all this shit.
Look what these babies got to walk through.
Get home safe.
This is in San Francisco. Look at this shit. These babies got to walk through this to get home.
Come on, man. These little kids got to walk through this shit. This shit is crazy.
Play it one more time. Play it one more time for me, Cuddy.
Hey, motherfucker, I'll just cut it off.
All right, let's go.
hold on. I got you.
Do it now, sucker. No, go ahead.
Oh, no.
So, all right, here we go. One more time.
My little partners out here, get home safe, all right? I'm sorry y'all gotta be going through see all this shit. Okay? Get home safe. Walk through this shit. Come on, man.
Man, look at that.
Look at this shit, man.
I don't see what the problem is, man. I've been walking around dirty white people my whole life that don't do shit. And I'm, nobody feels bad for me.
To my mind, is Gerald Levert singing "It's a New Jack City."
New Jack City for the city.
Like, look at all them white folks.
Living just enough for the city. I'm living just enough for the city. I'm living just enough for the New York City. You picture Ice-T chasing Pookie.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at this shit.
Dude.
Look at this shit.
Oh,
You know,
man.
listen, you know how many fucking areas here. This ain't just San Francisco. But the problem is this, and I got two problems because I read the comments on this video, and the comments pretty much disturbed me, right? Now the gentleman holding up the phone was saying, "What? I'm sorry, my kids got to walk through this shit. My little people, I'm sorry y'all got to walk through this shit." You know what I mean? These motherfuckers strung the fuck out on the streets. Don't give a fuck, man. You know, drug addicts every fucking where. Whoever's problem it is, these babies shouldn't have to walk through this shit and see this shit. Yet and still in the comment section on this video, and I'm gonna get back to the video, it was people on there like, yeah, I feel bad for them, but what I really feel bad for is those kids are throwing up gang signs. Some of them didn't even mention this. They was like, look at those kids throwing up gang signs. If you watch the video, it was 3 fucking kids. They weren't throwing up gang signs. But could you see why they doing this shit? Look at their fucking environment. Maybe they're just products of their fucking environment. Could be they just listen to rap music. Go ahead.
Man, see, all right. Look at all these people, these children of color. These children of color.
Right.
Around all these motherfucking homeless, dope fiend, fucking junkie, worthless motherfuckers.
Right.
And they're all white.
Right.
They're all fucking white. And this is what I'm talking about, man. The white man's always dropping off his problems in our community.
Listen. Bust it. Let me say this. In most of these places, when you go to certain areas, you like, damn, how these motherfuckers, how they over here, man? But then you go, you like, man, we finna go out. You get to the nice area, you don't see none of this shit. You don't see it under no fucking underpasses. You don't see it over in the distance. But man, we live in a nice little neighborhood. But there, if you go down the hill, there's a little area down there. Guess who down there? Motherfuckers that look like them. It ain't nobody that look like us down there. Across the street, right in front of the gas station. This motherfucker didn't even try to hide it. He got dreads. One of them right there. Got all kind of shit. He's sitting in front of the fucking gas station screaming at the top of his lungs about people. You see him going up and down the street picking up garbage. Our area where we at is not even predominantly black. It's predominantly like Asian, Hispanic with some black people in there. But when you go into the areas that's predominantly them but affluent, you don't see none of that shit. But they, like you said, they always in our fucking, they know they come here because the politicians ain't gonna say shit. Because the politicians live in them nice fucking areas. So they'd rather the motherfuckers be out here than over there. Also, what you will see is motherfuckers going and feeding them. You'll see motherfuckers going and feeding them. Meanwhile, in other parts of San Francisco,
there's dogs going hungry.
You said what?
In other parts of San Francisco, there are dogs going hungry.
Absolutely, smart ass. So in other parts of San Francisco, what I'm saying is they put boulders up and down the streets to stop shit like this. They removed them. Another place they put logs because these people they camp out in front of the fucking businesses and cause issues. They camp out in front of people's homes. But these people don't even give a fuck to the point. Like they take over the parks, but they don't give a fuck. And they all look like them. You saw one brother out there, but they all look like them. But the fact that these kids, this they bus stop, this where they got to go home from.
Hey man,
how you 11? How you 11 and you got a 37-year-old junkie asking you for $10?
That's systemic racism, man.
How much lunch money you got left over, young buck?
This is in San Francisco. San Francisco is one of the highest housing costs in the nation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So if you throw all the problems in one neighborhood, you drive those values down.
I've been saying
then you can buy it cheap. And you buy it cheap, man, and make it white. Then they'll throw all these, like this bitch here that looks like a zombie. They'll throw this bitch in rehab. She'll be one of the soccer moms.
Listen. Let me say something, Cuddy.
Getting an appreciating asset in her house.
You think I'm lying when I'm about to say what I'm about to say. I was going across the way when you come visit. This ain't here now. They moved it. I was going, they moved these motherfuckers out. I was going to Starbucks to get my little dragon mango lemonade. So the lines, Starbucks lines pretty much anywhere always backed up. So you got to turn in.
Man, ain't never no men in it.
And
But
what?
go ahead. Starbucks line. But go ahead.
Fuck you, nigga. So you got to turn. You got to turn in.
And I send my girl to Starbucks for me, like you bullshit.
Man, I ain't on it. I get my own from that. So you got to turn in to get into, to the order little area. So I pulled, but I wasn't able to turn it because I was backed up. I looked right in front of me, and it was a zombie like her with a wet wipe, a little KFC wet wipe. This motherfucker lifted up her shirt. You could see everything. Wiping under her arms. This motherfucker pulled her pants down with the same wet wipe and hit that crotch. I ain't even want Starbucks no more. I said fuck it. I said fuck it and got out of line. And then she went right back, maybe like 5-10 yards behind these people's house. They had a fence up, and she had made herself a little fucking tent. I'm telling you, motherfuckers like this is everywhere. They every fucking where. And you gotta watch out for your kids, man.
Yeah.
Like this, like
it was bad here, yo. Like you got them all under the underpasses and shit. Like real shit. You can't drive up and down 30 because them motherfuckers will just be walking up and down that shit, and they will cross the highway like it's nothing.
listen, homie. When I used to live off Arkansas, Alouette, Arkansas, and right when I get to Arkansas, it would be motherfucker out there. He be standing there, and people would be like, "Man, get a fucking job." That's what I miss about Texas. They weren't giving up shit. But I will say, the one fucking day I noticed what they do. A lot of this be bullshit. Because when the cop come up, these motherfuckers start breakdancing and shit. And you will see the cop looking. The cop will be looking and just shaking his head, laughing. Come to find out, they start dancing and shit and acting like they crazy. Because if they crazy, they won't take them to jail. So you'll get a motherfucker out there high or with a sign begging for money, and then this motherfucker just you be like, man, if you this shit is crazy, man.
Drop that homeless vet sign and start dancing, huh?
Man, listen, nah, it wasn't even vet. Just give me some money. But it's just, I'm just saying, man, this is. San Francisco kids walk through Addicts and Filth after school, and you have motherfuckers in the comment section worried about what they was doing with their hands. They weren't. They just saw some black kids, and it's just like automatically they go to their favorite fallback.
There's some gang members.
Look. Kids throwing up like they spraying is how you know we're a failed society. That's messed up, but it's also messed up how many kids throw signs and wave guns at the camera. Like that take precedence over that shit. Look, let's just ignore the kids idolizing gang culture. 3 fucking kids out of all them babies. My favorite part was the future criminal pointing his handgun at the camera. Here, that's what you're saying about a child. It's bad enough seeing those streets so whacked out, but watching the kid throw up gang signs, particularly sad as fuck the cycle. Congress, we need 40 billion for the world. Well, that ain't one. You can't. Okay, that one.
The thing is, they chose to normalize that. What's the norm here? The people that are homeless or the kids throwing up so-called gang signs.
There you go.
Because the fact of the matter is, how do you know it was a gang sign?
Right.
Hey man,
right.
Like there's just bots that like put this shit out there, man, just to cause fucking headaches, man. I mean, most of the content on the web is run by bots. And plus we live in a racist ass society, so
Listen, I believe that, but this is more of that racist society you just talked about. Y'all overlooking the motherfuckers shooting up between their toes to point out, to focus on these little black babies because they doing shit with their hands. Just because they're impressionable and what they seen in the videos, man. Like that's I don't know what part is I think that mindset is more disturbing Because it's the same people saying that that's out there on the streets, man. You know, and you know, I don't know, man. You look, you had somebody just say when they was a kid they had to walk
50 miles of crackheads.
50 miles.
Oh,
You know what I
oh.
mean? It's just like, man, you know, and you see these politicians, like you said, man, they just let them sit there, drive the price down. And now them same kids that they talking about gang signs, once you know they you know they do the urban renewal and buy that shit up for low prices, they won't even want them fucking kids walking through there, man.
I just want to point out something, but you know, vagrancy laws were created to imprison black people because
Yeah.
you know, in the United States, you know, they outlawed slavery except for the prison system. And this is clear vagrancy. And you know, you got that complexion for the protection, brother.
Right. Because I'm like, damn, y'all want to fill the prison so bad, but y'all just let these motherfuckers look at this shit. Motherfuckers is leaning and slumped. Just slump, man.
Frank,
You know, and
lean
it's
and
just
slump.
right. And it's just like y'all worried about what these kids are doing with their hands, but y'all just gonna completely detach it from the fucking environment that they are in. Could it be
Now,
that they're
though,
products of their environment? Go ahead, man.
to quote a member of the crew, Arrow, think about it from way back in the day. We was doing a song and he was like, yo, man, it's always what's behind the scenes. They always doing all this shit for us to pay attention to, but we always got to see what they're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's basically what this is right here. And we
Mhm.
are speaking on that right now. This is what they're doing now, and exactly what we're saying is what they're doing. Like they're putting all this out here, just like Tank said. They have a vagrancy law that they could put into effect, but
Come on
they're
with it.
not. And just like what you saying now too, they doing all this to put in our neighborhoods to drive the prices down so they can come and buy it, bring the prices back up, and then when these little kids come through in a couple of years, throwing up whatever hand signs they're using, they're
Right.
gonna put that whole vagrancy law back into effect, and there's probably gonna be some other law that Tank said earlier that was meant for something else that's going to be the exact opposite, that's going to be for what these children are doing to put them in jail. Bomb.
Furious Styles could not have explained it any better, my G.
You know that used to be
Yeah.
my old moniker too while you playing. So
Yeah, you know, it's sad, man. It's sad. You know, God forbid a black child be deaf, man. I mean, be deaf and you know, gotta use sign language, man. He don't stand a fucking chance with some of these people, man. It's just sad. But hey, man, you know, the other thing, real quick, man, before we get out of here, you mentioned something about the bots, Cuddy. I wanted to ask you about that. I was watching a video about these racist algorithms, man. What do you think about it?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you can hire. I mean, like look at what the Russians did with Facebook, and
Right.
and you know, all it takes is money, and you know, these are for-profit companies. So
Yeah.
you know, you give them money and they complete a task. So you know, the highest bidder gets the job done. And,
Because
you know, this
that's
is a
what
racist society, and that's the type of shit that they put out.
yeah, that's what the one dude was saying. I think the one person what I was listening to where they were saying that that's why some of the interest rates are higher for black people because of these fucking fucked up ass algorithms. And it was talking about a lot of different things, you know, areas of life that this shit kind of affects us, man, you know. So
and that Black Market series that Michael K. Williams did before he passed away.
I didn't see it.
On if you can get it, the Vice channel. Michael K. Williams did a Black Market series, and it's 2 seasons, But this last season that he did, like right before he passed away, there's an episode strictly on bots. And it was basically talking about how, it was basically on how it drove up like the prices of sneakers and all types of goods and all that stuff. But you can translate it into everything else because like these bots, it's like one dude that get a stupid amount of money just running bots on that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can watch that, and it can, like, we intelligent brothers, so we can translate how that can fix a whole bunch of other stuff. And I honestly think he spoke on how that can manipulate the algorithms for other things as well.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna hit you on the side for that, man. Probably this evening because I got this appointment, man.
For sure.
But listen, man, it's been real, man. Yo, I'm glad we got our brother Handsome Man Dizzle with us.
For shizzle.
Stud Mizzle. Hey, man, you doing your thing, man. And, you know, we always appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah.
The Mercs and the goddamn 3PMD, man. You know,
It's always good to see family.
Yeah, man. I'm glad, you know, I know we ain't take no vote, but I'm pretty sure you wasn't opposed to it, man. I'm glad we was able to get the brother on here, man, because this cat personality, man, we gotta put this cat on here, man.
Shit, I ain't
Corey
never
gotta
opposed
be
to
over here. Yeah, man. So
I'm gonna hit you on the side because I got another idea too.
okay, right on, man. Definitely.
Gotta get fucking Clint's ass on this motherfucker too.
Man, if that motherfucker, if Beat Down is ever on time, listen, man. I'll tell you on the side because I don't want to put him out there, man. We originally tried to get Beat Down on here.
Man, I mean, I figured that's what it was. The brother do all the daggone theme music and all that good stuff.
Man, listen, we got what, 1 or 2 shows with him that was good as fuck.
Yeah. Go ahead. Run the story down.
There's never a dull moment with Beat Down Brown.
So we'll give you the quick one out because my man got to run. So you know, we set a time. Beat Down called us about 10 minutes after that time started and said he had to go do some beat down shit. He'd be back in about 45 minutes. 3 hours later, after doing his beat down shit, he was ready to go. So we was in the bed, bro. Like we was out. We was done. We cut the lights off, like the mics off. It was done.
We've completed the show.
Yeah.
We said, fuck it. We ain't come here for nothing.
You gotta do beat down. You gotta think about it. Beat down work on them old midnight late time hours, bro. Like when he doing studio work. You gotta listen.
He a master, man, but he on his own time.
If you really want to get it beat down, it gotta be between midnight and 6 a.m. when we used to do studio time and them old sheets runs where cats used to hit them licks at the MTO spot. One of your mans is the reason why you gotta pay for them sandwiches first now. Because we used to get high. I'm not putting no names out, but we used to get high, and one of your mans would order the sandwich and just legit forget to pay for that shit. I'm not gonna say who, but his code name was Eating Fun.
Eating Fun.
Instead of eating run.
Man, y'all cats fools, man. Hey, man, Beat Down. We gonna get you back, Beat Down, man.
Yeah.
You got the legendary, man.
We had to have a breakfast show, man.
Yeah.
Get you when you get off work.
Yeah, man. Something, brother. Well, shit, man. Let's run that music, man, as we get out this motherfucker, man.
I thought you were sick of listening to it.
No, I wasn't sick, motherfucker. I love that music, man.
Shut the fuck up next time when I run.
Fuck up, man.
Running the breakfast.
Shut your black ass up, man.
All right, then.
Just because you John Creasy now, motherfucker. You Greasy, man. You John Greasy. What's his name? Greasy? Or was it Creasy?
I don't know. But no, I'm Christopher Walken, man. I'm Christopher Walken. You Greasy.
You right. Yeah. I want to be Christopher Walken because he lived. Yeah, man. Talk my
Hell,
shit.
man.
Well, shit, gentlemen, it's been real. I got to get the fuck up out of here.
All right.
Indeed.
Love you, brothers.
Peace. Love y'all, man.
Love is love. Peace.
First with mics.